This is a Wild West weapons guide. It basically teaches you everything about the weapons, how much damage they do, how long it takes to reload them. If I missed anything, all the information is from Wikipedia, so you can just go to the Wild West Wikipedia and look for yourself. And this video does have timestamps, so if you want to just go to a specific part that you want to know about, you can just go look in the description and go to the timestamp that you want, and it will tell you about the things you want to know about. And that's all I have to say, so enjoy the video. Now the first weapon I'm going to go over is the Yellow Boy Rifle. Now the Yellow Boy Rifle is pretty good. It does 50 damage to the head and 25 damage to the body. So it's a 4-hit body shot and a 2-hit headshot. The price is $1,000, which is really cheap. It has 6 rounds. It shoots pretty fast. It's low cost, it's good damage, and it has very low recoil, so it's a pretty good weapon in my opinion. If you're starting off, I'd recommend it. If you don't have too much money and you're just starting off, you should get the Yellow Boy Rifle. The second weapon is the Lynx Bolt Action. It has 4 rounds and the price is $1,500. Now, it's better than the Yellow Boy. It's one of the best weapons in the game currently. But it's not too good if you're a beginner because it only has 4 rounds, which makes it really slow. But it does a lot of damage. It's a 80 damage to the head and a 40 damage to the body. So that means that it's a 3 hit to the body and a 2 hit to the head. Its reload speed is 2.9 seconds, but its fire rate is pretty slow. It can only shoot 39 rounds per minute. So I'd say you're gonna need to have a combo to go with it. Find a good secondary that matches it, so you can switch between those two. But it's really good if you have good aim, and it's pretty cheap. It has perfect accuracy. Now the Sharps Rifle. The Sharps Rifle is basically a sniper. It has 100% accuracy. It's a 150 damage to the head and 75 damage to the body. It costs $4,500. Has a fire rate of 12 rounds per minute, a reload speed of 2.3 seconds, and an ammo capacity of 1. You can one-shot Bison with it and 2-shot the bear, I think. It does have bullet drop and travel, so if someone's moving, you're gonna have to shoot a little bit in front of them and a little bit higher if they're far away. But it also has some cons. You cannot run while aiming. You have to zoom in to shoot. You can't just no scope people. And scope takes a long time to go up. The Winchester Rifle. The Winchester Rifle costs $7,200. It does 30 damage to the body, 60 damage to the head, fire rate of 62 rounds per minute, reload speed of 7 seconds, ammo capacity of 8. It has decent fire rate, decent damage, and high ammo capacity, but the cons are that it's expensive and takes a long time to reload. Now the next one is the Harmonica Rifle. Now the Harmonica Rifle is pretty expensive. It costs $7,000 and it's a 40 damage to the head and a 20 damage to the body. It can shoot really fast. It has 12 bullets in a round, and it takes 5.5 seconds to reload it. So it's pretty good, and it shoots pretty fast too, so you can basically just laser people. It has a high ammo capacity, almost perfect accuracy, fast fire rate, fast reload per bullet, no recoil. But the cons are, it's expensive, fairly vulnerable in firing constantly, and cannot reload bullets one at a time. Reloads the entire harmonica. The Hartford Rifle costs $12,000. It does 75 damage to the body and 90 damage to the head, fire rate of 25 rounds per minute, reload speed of 1.2 seconds, and ammo capacity of 1. It's basically a medium range sniper. You can't really shoot from long range because of the scope. It's pretty hard to aim at long range. And it's not a one-shot to the head, so you're gonna have to shoot twice, which is kind of a bummer since it costs a lot more than the sniper. It can quick scope, it has the fastest reload in the entire game. It has perfect accuracy and high piercing. Cons: forces you into first-person mode, making it difficult to use in close combat battles. So basically you have to be in medium range to actually use this. The sight obstructs the vision, and extremely expensive. It's the most expensive item in the game, and it only has 1 round capacity. So I would really recommend the Hartford because it's okay if you're skilled. The Mare's Leg. The Mare's Leg is really good. It's probably one of my favorite weapons. It costs 50 Robux, but you can't get it anymore because it's the paid access reward. And I'm pay to win, so I have that gun. The damage is 45 damage to the body and 50 to 49 damage to the head. So you can basically 2-shot to the head, but it can turn into a 3-shot if you get 49 damage, which is kind of bad, I guess. But it shoots really fast. Its reload speed is 3.2 seconds, fire rate of 85 rounds per minute, ammo capacity of 5. It has decent reload speed, fast fire rate, good damage, small difference between headshot and body shot, and cons are only obtainable if you bought the Wild West before the egg hunt, somewhat inaccurate at longer ranges, and requires 3 headshots to kill a player. So I really like this because I'm pay to win, and it's probably the best gun in the game. The competitor of it is of course the Lynx. And now we're going in the secondaries range, or handguns. The first secondary we're gonna go over is the Peacekeeper revolver. The price is free, it's the default weapon. But if you sell it, and you want to buy it again, it costs 150. So yeah, I guess don't sell it. Damage is 50 to the head and 25 to the body. So you can 2-shot anyone to the head and 4-shot anyone to the body. Fire rate of 62 rounds per minute and 370 rounds per minute if you're fanning it. Reload speed of 5.6 seconds and ammo capacity of 6. Now the pros are it's the default weapon. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. It's pretty good in most ranges. It has decent accuracy. It's cheap. If you sell it, you can buy it again for pretty low cost. Cons: it has slow reload, high recoil, and low damage. But it's pretty good as a default weapon. I really like it. The next one is the Model 3 revolver. Now the Model 3 costs $350. The damage is 40 damage to the head and 20 damage to the body. Fire rate is 62 rounds per minute and 370 rounds per minute if you're fanning it. And it has an ammo capacity of 6 and a reload speed of 4.2. The pros of it is that it has fast reload, accurate fan firing, relatively cheap, and overall high accuracy. Cons are it has really low damage. The LeMat revolver. Now the LeMat revolver costs $800. It does 70 damage to the head and 35 damage to the body. Fire rate of 63 rounds per minute and 370 rounds per minute if you're fanning it. Reload speed of 5.2 seconds, empty reload, and 0.8 seconds per bullet. So it has a really long reload. It has an ammo capacity of 6. The pros are that it has high damage, it's cheap, it's fannable. It's basically made to fan with because it doesn't have too good of an accuracy and its range is literally garbage. So if you can go up to someone and manage to fan them, they're basically dead. Now the cons are it has poor accuracy and long reload. Now the next one is the Navy revolver. Now this revolver is a bit different since it can't be fanned. It costs $3,200. The damage is 60 damage to the head and 30 damage to the body. Fire rate of 105 rounds per minute. Reload speed of 3.5 seconds, ammo capacity of 6. Now the pros are high damage, fastest reload of any purchasable sidearm in the game, fair accuracy, fast fire rate. Now the cons are it cannot be fanned, cannot be equipped while holding a money bag, and poor accuracy for a revolver. Now the next one is the Lock revolver. Now the Lock revolver is probably the best revolver in the game, but it's really expensive. It's $6,500. It does 24 damage to the body and 48 damage to the headshot per bullet. Now this gun is special because it shoots 2 bullets at once. It has a burst of 2 bullets. So if you basically get a headshot with both of the bullets, which is really hard to do, but if you get a headshot with them, your enemy is basically dead. Now it has a reload speed of 4.6 seconds, ammo capacity of 6 shots, and capacity of 3 bursts. The pros are only gun that can be fired while running, and it can fan. Cons are that it has a slow fire rate, high recoil, expensive, and bad accuracy. The next one is the Golden Mauser, but it costs 450 Robux to buy it. It does 19 damage to the body and 38 damage to the head. It has a fire rate of 190 rounds per minute and reload speed of 4.6 seconds. The ammo capacity is 10. It holds 10 bullets. Now the pros are, it's really good at finishing off enemies or animals running away. It's 100% accurate. It has a high ammo capacity, high fire rate, very fast reload, very quiet while firing. The cons are lowest damage in the game outside of shotgun pellets, requires the VIP game pass, and unable to fan, a lot of smoke if you fire it continuously, loads with magazines, so reload is always the same. The Volcanic rifle. Now the Volcanic rifle is really cheap. It only costs $80, and that is because it drops on death. So if you die and you have the Volcanic rifle, it drops. So basically the enemy could pick it up and take your Volcanic rifle, and you have to buy it again unless you find it on the floor. The damage is 35 to 43. Fire rate is 57 rounds per minute and 280 rounds per minute if you're fanning. This gun can be fanned. It's the only rifle that you can fan the hammer with. It has a reload speed of 6.5 seconds and has an ammo capacity of 10. But you have to capture Fort Spencer to get it, and it drops on death, which is really a bummer. Pros are, it has good damage, high ammo capacity, can be fanned, good reload speed. Cons are, you can only purchase it at forts and it drops on death, and it has low penetration. The next one is the Volcanic pistol. Now, the Volcanic pistol is basically like the Volcanic rifle, but it's a secondary. It costs $80 and it drops when you die. It has a 30 damage to the body and a 60 damage to the head, a fire rate of 75 rounds per minute and 150 rounds per minute if you're fanning, reload speed of 4.2 seconds, ammo capacity of 8, and purchase location is Fort Henry, so you have to capture Fort Henry to get it. Now the pros are, it's very accurate, it can fan, it's cheap, large capacity, decent reload. Now the cons are, slow fire rate, drops on death, and can only be purchased if you own Fort Henry. Now the shotguns. The sawed-off shotgun is the first shotgun we're gonna go over. It's a sidearm. It costs $1,000, so it's not too expensive. Its fire rate is 70 rounds per minute and reload speed of 3.7 seconds and 1.7 seconds per shell. Ammo capacity of 2 bullets, which is the same as the mule shotgun. The mule shotgun. Now the mule shotgun is a primary. It costs $4,000 and fire rate is 110 rounds per minute, reload speed of 2.5 seconds, ammo capacity of 2. Now, a lot of people hate this gun because a lot of people spam it, and if you spam this gun, everyone's gonna hate you. So, it's one of the most hated guns in the community because a lot of people just spam it and everyone's gonna hate you for it. Pros are fast reload, the tightest spread of all shotguns, high damage, one of the best close mid-range weapons. It's very easy to aim with and it's pretty cheap. The cons are high recoil, low ammo capacity, shotgun spread makes it fairly weak at long distances, and may be called mule spammer and hated by the community if you use it too often. The melees. The melees is a knife. The normal knife can be bought for $50. It does 25 damage no matter where you hit, the head or the body, and you can purchase it at the general store. Pros are, it's extremely cheap and can be carried underwater. The cons are, it's very short range and low damage. Now, I wouldn't recommend this one because there's a better knife, which is the Bowie knife. The Bowie knife costs $4,000, it does 40 damage, and you can only buy it at the hunting shack. So if you can't find it in the general store, it's because you can only find it in the hunting shack, which is near the tribal village. So the pros are, it has good damage for a melee, 3 stabs to kill, slashing away hits your opponents with close enough. Slashing always hits your opponents when close enough. Stabbing has a longer range, a perfect weapon when all your guns run out of ammo, can be carried underwater. Slashing can also hurt numbers of people close together with a slash. There's another melee which is axes, but there's different tiers of axes which do different damage, and let's be honest here, nobody really uses axes as their melee, so I'm not really gonna go over it. The throwable weapons are the tomahawk. The tomahawk costs $60, damage is 41 to 120, range is pretty short and you can only buy it at the hunting shack. Pros are it has high damage, capable of one-shotting at maximum charge, very cheap at only $60, multiple can be purchased, can be retrieved, and does not drop on death. Cons are high projectile arc, practically useless at long ranges, slow travel speed, have to retrieve it after use, you can lose your tomahawk. That's what it basically says. If you lose it, you're gonna have to buy it again. But I have lost it several times and it just comes back in my inventory if I reset, so I guess you could do that. But if you don't want to reset, you're gonna have to buy it again. And the last throwable is the dynamite. The dynamite is just the dynamite is dynamite. I don't really know what you expect from it. It's a dynamite. You throw it and it explodes. Depends on how far away the person is from the stick of dynamite that you threw. The pros are that it's cheap, deals very high damage, splash damage, can be bought multiple times, comes in stacks of 4 when you buy multiple, can blast open fort gates, vaults, and even R.J. Hudson's gravestone. Cons, you can kill yourself by accident, it's short range, takes some time to reach target, one-time use by multiple is necessary, no effect on animals, stays still for a while until explosion but give your target time to run, has a cooldown after using 1 dynamite, and the cooldown is about 3 seconds. Now, the bear trap is also a thing, but let's be honest here, nobody uses it, it's pretty useless. So just don't get the bear trap. It's a waste of money. Unless you want to troll people, then I guess you can use it, but it's basically a waste of money. The bow and arrow. The bow and arrow costs $2,000. The damage is 22 to 75 or 55 to 98. Fire rate is 28 to 52 rounds per minute. It has no reload. It has infinite bullets because it's a bow and arrow. It doesn't use bullets. You have infinite arrows. Pros are it has high damage to body and head, fast launch speed, around the same bullet drop as rifles, can one-shot deers. The cons are it's very slow and accuracy lowers when you charge for too long. Now, I wouldn't recommend getting the bow and arrow because there's a better bow and arrow. The better bow and arrow is the horsebow. Now the horsebow costs $6,000. It does 49 to the body and 98 to the head. Fire rate is 48 to 65 rounds per minute. It's basically just the bow and arrow, but better. It's fast. It charges a lot faster. Okay, so this segment is about the different weapon loadouts for different playstyles. Now, the first playstyle I'm going to cover is the close range playstyle, and I have 2 loadouts for each one. Now, the close range playstyle, I'd say mule shotgun, sawed-off shotgun, and dragoon pistol. This is basically all the shotguns. It's going to do a lot of damage if you're in close range. The second one I'd say is mule shotgun, navy revolver, and lock revolver. Now these are some loadouts that I've used in the past, so I'm just gonna put those out. I'm not the best at making loadouts, so if you can find your own loadout, that's good. But these are basically loadouts you can use if you don't know what guns to use and what your playstyle is. So if you're a close range playstyle, use any of these 2 loadouts. The medium range loadout. Now I usually use medium ranges because they're good in close range too. So for the medium range loadout, I'd say Lynx bolt action, lock revolver, and navy revolver. Now this is what I used to use, and this one is what I use currently. The one that I currently use is the mare's leg, lock revolver, and navy revolver. Now if you don't have the mare's leg, you can use the Winchester rifle, which is also pretty good if you don't have good aim. But if you have good aim, I'd say use the Lynx loadout, and if you're a veteran and have the mare's leg, use the mare's leg because it's OP. The long range loadout is Sharp's rifle, navy revolver, and sawed-off shotgun just in case someone sneaks up on you. Now the long range loadout number 2 is Hartford rifle, lock revolver, and navy revolver, obviously. Alright, I think that's all I have to say about weapons for now. If I missed anything, of course, let me know in the comments, or Don't just go to the Wikipedia and look for yourself. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Maybe you learned something. If you liked the video, like the video. If you didn't like the video, like the video. And if you really, really liked the video, like the video 3 times. And if you want to see more from me, of course, turn on the notification bell and subscribe to me. And yeah, that's all. Bye. Leave.